For Rivals.com, I'm National Recruiting Analyst John Garcia Jr. here with the #1 running back in the Rivals 250, Derrek Cooper, 5-star, #1 player in Florida. I'm not going to keep gassing you up too much, but you've been busy, right? Official visit season is winding down. You just came from Ohio State. Let's start there with the Buckeyes, who you're repping with the beanie there.
It was a great visit, getting up there to see Coach Locke, Coach Day, just getting to talk to those guys, Coach Hartline too, how I'm going to be using that offensive scheme, how am I going to be developed by Coach Locke, how am I going to be developed from the strength and conditioning staff. So that was like the main key parts of going into the visit.
Is there an extra edge or oomph with the Buckeyes coming off of that national championship?
Not really, national championship is good and all, but, I want to be developed. So that's a big part.
Gotcha. Let's hit some other schools on the list that you've been to recently. I feel like Georgia's been a program we've talked about a lot. About this time a year ago, quick commitment to UGA, then open things back up. What is it about Georgia that has you continuing to go back to Athens?
It's just like the place is like, it feels like home over there. It feels like home everywhere, but it feels like home there. The development there, Georgia's known as RBU, so that's a big part of it too. Coach Crawford, he's a great coach. We chat up things probably most likely every day. Coach Smart, he's a great coach. We chat it up too, not every day, but every week. So yeah.
Let's go to Kirby Smart's former program, Alabama. Kind of viewed as a dark horse in this recruitment, but again, you keep going back to Tuscaloosa. How was that official visit?
It was a great official visit, getting up there with Coach G, Coach Gillespie. It was just a great visit, and he's a great developer. He has a lot of backs in the NFL right now active, so that's a big part too. He develops a lot of backs, so yeah.
There's Texas, there's FSU, but I can't let you go without asking about Miami, the hometown program. I know they've sold that angle to you, but what else about the U continues to hold your interest?
I've been there a lot of times actually, so it's just it's great always getting back down there. Seeing Coach Merritt, seeing Coach Cristobal, just all the coaches. All the coaches know my name there. They developed there too, so that's a big part. Miami's and it's close to home, so yeah.
A lot of schools to consider, but we do have a little bit of breaking news from you, Coop. Decision date is now set. Why don't you let the world know when you're coming off the board?
July 12th.
There it is. First at 5-star, official visit's done, and then a July 12th commitment ahead for the #1 back in the class.